Hello everyone, I'm Petty Officer Sarkis Karapetyan from the U.S. Coast Guard. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here to explain to you a little bit about our Culinary Specialist program. We have an acronym for CS. That is a rating or your specialty job that you would be doing in the Coast Guard if you are selected, if you choose to do so, and if you're selected to go through. One thing that many people ask about being a culinary specialist in the Coast Guard is that they love to cook, and you're going to have plenty of opportunity to do that and to be able to perfect your craft, but they also want to know what type of adventures they're going to have. And most of the time, most culinary specialists will actually, out of a school, so your specialty school that you would go through, would come out of and usually go on a cutter or a ship. So I personally have not been stationed on a cutter, but my colleagues who have gone all over the world. So they've gone through Japan, Singapore, Thailand, New Zealand, Australia, Panama, Ecuador, Galapagos Island, Antarctica, Maldives. I mean, all over the United States, to every continent that there is. So you'll be able to experience a lot of adventure. You're not going to have any shortage of adventure. And as far as jobs, you may have collateral duties as well. So if you want to be a boarding team member and go on boardings to conduct law enforcement, you may have the opportunity to do that as well. And in addition to that, I want to talk a little bit about pay in the Coast Guard. So the compensation structure in the Coast Guard is going to take care of you for your housing, your medical, and your food. You and your family are going to be taken care of. So I have a list of the compensation structure just because it's so much that it's not just regular basic pay. So with basic pay, that is what you're going to be paid as your regular pay for your work that you do, and that comes with regular increases at year 2, 3, 4, and then 2 years after that. In addition to that, every calendar year, the pay scale is readjusted for the cost of living, so it'll go up at that time as well. In addition to that, every time you promote or advance, you'll go up in the pay grade. So you could see 1, 2, potentially 3 raises in a single year as far as your pay goes. In addition to that, you may have a housing allowance and food allowance, and those are non-taxable funds that are given to you. In some cases, they at your earlier stages in your career, those together may be more than what your basic pay is. In addition to that, there's going to be uniform allowances and various other entitlements depending on where you are stationed. If you happen to be stationed at a location that will give you a bump in pay. In addition to that, when you move, there's going to be a dislocation allowance and a greater amount if you have dependents. So if you're married or have kids, there's going to be a greater dislocation allowance, as well as more money they're going to pay you for travel pay with your family. So also, if you want to do a self-procured move like I've done every single time, I've made thousands of dollars doing my move myself rather than having a company do the move. The medical benefits, I don't know if any one of you has been in that stage of life where you have to pay for medical insurance for you and your family, but I know when I did back in the day, I paid almost $500 a month for myself and my wife, and when we had our first baby, I had a $3,000 deductible to pay. Ever since I joined the Coast Guard, I had 2 more kids, and I've never paid a deductible or a co-insurance pay or an insurance premium since the time I've been in, and that alone was what attracted me to the Coast Guard originally. And and as well as the VA home loan, and I'll get to that in just a moment. In addition to that, while you're in the Coast Guard, there may be tuition assistance benefits, and there has been every single year that I've been in. In fact, I took advantage of it, and in about 4 years, I earned my bachelor's degree, paid for by the Coast Guard. So I didn't pay a dime out of it. Not only that, I actually made money doing it because I also had FAFSA in addition to my tuition assistance. So I was getting paid about $2,000 per semester to go to school, and college was being paid for me. So that was an amazing opportunity for me. Also, I utilized my VA home loan benefit, which you will have 6 months after joining. I utilized it. I purchased a house 13 months after joining, as well as about 3.5 years after joining. So now I own 2 homes, and I use the VA loan for that, with no other help, no other funds other than my Coast Guard pay, and having 3 kids, because my wife stayed at home with the kids. So the compensation structure of the military is not very widely understood by people, and there's going to be it's not just here's pay, here's medical benefits, and that's it. In addition to that, most civilian places, you have to have you have to make a contribution into your retirement. If you retire of the military, there's a non-contributory amount that you will get as a pension. So 40% of your base pay at 20 years, or 2% more per year after that, which you do not put a dime into. The government does that for you. So when it comes to pay, and this is not even comprehensive. There's a GI Bill. There are other VA medical benefits and various other pays that, as you get into, you'll learn about eventually. And that, aside from that, I also want to talk about some of the certifications, specifically to CA. You could get through our Coast Guard Cool program if you decide that the Coast Guard isn't for you and you've enjoyed the experience you've had for your enlistment and you now rather get out. You could be a certified chef de cuisine, certified culinary administrator, certified culinary educator, certified executive chef, certified executive pastry chef, certified sous chef, certified working pastry chef, certified master chef, personal certified executive chef, and that's only a partial list of some of the certifications you can get for free while in the Coast Guard. So if you'd like more information, whether it's for information for you or from someone else who you think can benefit from this program, or I've sparked any of your curiosity, contact me. We can set up an appointment, and I'd love to take you on the base or a cutter and show you what is in store for you if this is the route you want to take for you or you and your family. Thank you.